On Mother's Day, my mom bragged on Facebook, saying she was blessed with the most beautiful grandchild about my sister's son. I was 7 months pregnant. No mention, no call. I kept quiet. In 24 hours, my delivery room photo reached 20,000 likes. Not because of her face, but because of who was holding her. Can you imagine being completely invisible to the person who gave you life? On Mother's Day, I was 7 weeks pregnant, still raw from 2 devastating miscarriages. But instead of a call or a text, my own mother posted a picture of my nephew, declaring him her only grandchild, the woman I would have died for. That gut punch changed absolutely everything. This isn't just about a Facebook post. This is about years of sacrifice, of being a lifeline for someone who then, when it mattered most, acted like I was nothing. I sat in my kitchen that Sunday morning, my hands trembling as I scrolled. My first child was growing inside me, a tiny flicker of hope after 2 devastating losses that almost broke me. And there it was, Mom's post, a beaming photo of my sister's 2-year-old son, Tyler. Her caption, "Blessed with the most beautiful grandchild. My heart is so full." No mention of me. No mention that I was carrying her second grandchild. No call, no text, nothing. Just silence. It felt like a slap in the face. I had driven her to chemotherapy 52 times. 52 times. I paid $18,000 out of my own pocket when her insurance failed her. I held her hand through every single scan, every midnight fever. I was terrified of losing another baby, but on Mother's Day, I simply didn't exist to her. They had no idea that 7 months later, when I went into early labor, the person holding my newborn daughter in that delivery room wouldn't be them. And they definitely didn't know that the photo of my baby, that very photo, would explode to 20,000 likes in just 24 hours. Not because of me, but because of who was holding her. Before I tell you who that was and what happened next, if this story is already hitting home, please hit like and subscribe. And tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I read every single one. Now, let's go back to where this unbelievable story truly began. It was January 2020. I was just 24, 2 years into teaching 3rd grade, when my mother, Carol, was diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer. My sister, Allison, was 29, living over 1,000 miles away in Austin, Texas. That distance would become a central theme. The phone call came on a Friday afternoon. Mom's voice was shaking. "Ellen, they found something. Stage 2. I need you." I dropped everything, told my principal it was a family emergency, and drove straight to her house. That night, Allison texted, "Can't fly in right now. Work's crazy. You're closer anyway. You're closer anyway." That became the pattern. I was closer. I was available. I was the one who always rearranged her life. But I didn't know yet that those endless drives to Wexner Medical Center, that sterile hospital smell, would fundamentally change how I understood the word family. 3 days later, I drove Mom to her first appointment with Dr. Rachel Brennan. Dr. Brennan, 48, a breast cancer survivor herself, had this incredible calm. She made you feel like there was always a plan. I came armed with a blue notebook, ready to ask every question imaginable. What stage? Treatment? Side effects? Meds? Timeline? Dr. Brennan looked at me, really looked at me. "You're asking all the right questions. Are you in healthcare?" "No," I said. "I'm a teacher. I need to understand everything." Mom just sat there, quiet, scared. Dr. Brennan nodded. "Your mother is lucky to have you." Mom didn't say a word. Over the next 2 years, I filled that blue notebook with over 200 pages. Treatment plans, side effects, medication schedules, everything. Chemo started in February 2020. Every 2 weeks for the first year, then monthly. I drove her to exactly 52 appointments. Not 50, not 55. 52. I counted. I saved the parking receipts. Each one was 4 to 6 hours long. Sitting in that infusion room, watching the 4 drip, holding her hand when the nausea hit, driving her home, making sure she was safe inside. Let me tell you what one of those appointments was really like. The infusion room at Wexner. It smelled like chemical disinfectant, mixed with something sweet and metallic. The fluorescent lights hummed, a constant drone. Mom sat in a blue recliner, 4 in her arm. I sat beside her, blue notebook open. Around us, other patients slept, or just stared at their phones. Drip, drip, drip. Each drop was supposed to save her life, but it felt like it was killing her. After the first hour, the nausea would hit. I'd hold the basin. Sometimes she'd throw up, sometimes just dry heave. I'd rub her back, whisper, "You're doing great, Mom." Almost done. I was a third-grade teacher, but in those moments, I was learning to be a nurse, a mother, and a daughter all at once. It was during this time that I met Nathan. Nathan Robbins. He's a firefighter and an EMT. We met at a coffee shop near the hospital. He saw me, head buried in my notebook, and asked what I was studying. I told him I was taking care of my mom through cancer. He didn't run. Most guys would have. But Nathan, he stayed. In 2021, Mom needed surgery. Finally, Allison flew in. She stayed for a grand total of 48 hours. And in those 48 hours, she managed to post 15 Instagram stories. Praying for Mom, with photos of flowers, the hospital waiting room, her coffee cup. But not a single photo of me. I had been there every single day for a week leading up to that surgery, and stayed every night after. Yet, when Allison left, Mom beamed. It was so good to see her. I was right there. I'd been there the whole time. Then the bills started rolling in, late 2021. Mom's insurance covered about 70%, but the remaining 30%? That was $18,000 out of pocket, under her high-deductible plan. Allison, of course, said she'd split it with me. I waited 3 months. Nothing. I texted her in December 2021. "Hey, the bill's due. Can you send your half?" Her reply, "Things are tight right now. Can you cover it first? I'll pay you back." I paid it, all $18,000, on my credit card on December 12, 2022. Chase Sapphire, 18 months at 0% APR. I still have the receipt. Saved it to my Google Drive, in a folder I called Mom Cancer. Allison never paid me back. Not a dime. Just 8 days later, December 20th, 2022. Mom's oncologist declared her cancer-free. In remission. I drove her home from that appointment, her crying happy tears. I was relieved, but utterly exhausted. That afternoon, she posted on Facebook, "Cancer-free. So grateful for my family and Dr. Brennan." She tagged Allison. She tagged my dad, Douglas. She didn't tag me. I read it in the car, right before I drove away from her house. My hands were shaking. I couldn't comment. I couldn't say anything. Mom asked if I was okay. I just mumbled, "Yeah, just tired." That night, Dr. Brennan sent me a private message. I saw the post. "I know what you did. Thank you." I just sat in my car, parked outside my house, and cried. She saw me. 3 months later, March 2023, 2 major things happened. Allison had a baby boy, Tyler, and Nathan asked me to marry him. Of course, I said yes. My mom immediately flew to Austin to help Allison with the new baby. She stayed for 3 whole weeks. When she finally came back, it was for my wedding weekend. She stayed 2 days. 2 days. She didn't post a single photo from my wedding on Facebook. At the reception, she just shrugged. "Can't stay long. Allison needs me with the baby." I just stared at her. "You were just there for 3 weeks," I reminded her, disbelief creeping into my voice. "Well," she snapped, "she just had a baby, Ellen." Nathan caught my eye across the room. I could see the anger simmering behind his eyes, but I just forced a smile and nodded. I was used to it. From March to December 2023, Mom posted about Tyler 50 times. His first smile, first laugh, first steps. I scrolled past each one silently. Every post was like a small cut, not deep enough to bleed out, but just enough to sting, to remind me where I stood. Nathan started getting frustrated. "She didn't even thank you," he'd say. "Not once, not publicly. She thanked me in person. I'd try to defend her." "That's not enough," he'd shoot back. In October 2023, I got pregnant for the first time. I didn't tell anyone. Only Nathan knew. I wanted to wait until 12 weeks, when it felt safe. I didn't make it to 12 weeks. I didn't know then that this pain was just the beginning of even greater shocks ahead. November 18th, 2023. I miscarried at 9 weeks. It was a Saturday. Nathan wasn't home from his shift at the fire station yet. I was on the bathroom floor, the blood. So much blood. I knelt down, trying to clean it up, tears streaming down my face, mixing with the blood on the white tile. "I'm sorry, baby," I whispered. "Mommy's so sorry." When it was finally over, I called my mother. "Mom," I choked out, "I lost the baby." There was a pause. I could hear Tyler crying in the background. She was visiting Allison again. "Oh, honey, I'm sorry," she said, her voice completely distracted. "But you're young. You can try again." "I have to go. Tyler's crying." The call lasted 3 minutes and 12 seconds. She never called back. Never checked on me. Allison didn't even know I'd been pregnant. Mom never told her. After that, I started paying close attention to our family group chat, Robin's family. From March 2023 to November 2024, there were 203 messages about Tyler. Guess how many about me? 12. And 11 of those 12 were me asking how everyone else was doing. The only message about me that I didn't write myself? Dad saying congrats when Nathan and I got married. That was it. May 2024. I was named Teacher of the Year for my district by the Ohio Department of Education. There was a ceremony. Nathan came. My parents didn't. I called Mom to invite her, so excited. I won Teacher of the Year. The ceremony is Friday at 4. "Oh, that's wonderful," she said. "But Allison's in town with Tyler this week. We're taking him to the zoo on Friday." "Okay," I said, my voice flat. "Never mind." Nathan posted a photo of me with my certificate on Facebook. 47 people commented, "Congratulations." My mother liked the post. She didn't comment. I got pregnant again in June 2024. This time, I told no one. Not my mother. Only Nathan. And Dr. Brennan. Yes, Dr. Brennan. Over the 2 years of Mom's treatment, Dr. Brennan and I had stayed in touch. She checked in on me. She knew about my first miscarriage. When I told her I was pregnant again, her response was simple, profound. "I'm here if you need anything." August 3rd, 2024. I miscarried again at 11 weeks. I was in my kitchen, making breakfast. The bleeding started. Blood on the kitchen floor. Again. I was on my knees, trying to clean it, tears streaming down my face. Nathan was at the fire station. I called him. He was there in 12 minutes, still in his uniform. I didn't call my mother this time. What was the point? Dr. Brennan came to the hospital. She sat with me for an hour. Didn't say much. She just sat there. That meant more than any words ever could. "I'm not telling them anymore," I told Nathan that night. "They don't get to know." In October 2024, I got pregnant for the 3rd time. I kept it a secret from my family until April 2025, when I was 6 months along and couldn't hide it anymore. I posted it in the family group chat. "Nathan and I are expecting in December." Mom replied 4 hours later, "Congrats, honey." Allison replied 6 hours later, "That's great." Dad replied 10 hours later, "Good news." That was it. No one asked if it was a boy or a girl. No one asked the due date. No one asked how I was feeling. Nathan read the messages over my shoulder. He picked up my phone and actually threw it across the room. "Are you kidding me?" he yelled. "This is how they react." I picked up my phone. The screen was cracked. "I told you," I said, my voice flat. "They don't care." In early May, my friends threw me a baby shower. I invited Mom and Allison. Mom called to say she couldn't come. "I'm already flying to Austin that weekend," she explained. "Tyler has his 2nd birthday party on the 5th. My baby shower was May 3rd. Tyler's birthday was May 5th. She chose Tyler. 23 people came to my shower. There were 2 empty chairs at the family table. One for Mom, one for Allison. My friend Sarah, bless her heart, asked, "Where's your family?" "Oh," I said, trying to sound casual. They had other plans. My heart ached. And then came Mother's Day. May 11th, 2025. I was 7 weeks pregnant, still in that terrifying first trimester where anything could go wrong. I told my mother about the pregnancy 3 weeks earlier. She knew. That Sunday morning, I woke up, checked my phone. 8:03 a.m. My mother had posted a photo of Tyler hugging her. Blessed with the most beautiful grandchild, my heart is so full. I sat in my kitchen, reading it 3 times. Nathan was making breakfast. I didn't say anything. I just placed my hand on my stomach, trying to feel for a heartbeat, even though I knew it was too early. Tears fell without a sound. I was afraid to disturb Nathan, afraid to break the fragile peace. No call from my mother that day. No text. Nothing. By noon, the post had 147 likes and 38 comments. "You're so blessed. What a beautiful grandson." Then one comment stood out. Someone asked, "Is this your only grandchild?" Mom replied, "Yes, my first." My breath caught. Only grandchild? I was 7 weeks pregnant with her second. I took a screenshot. 8:03 a.m. Saved it to a new folder I created. Evidence. Nathan saw me, staring at my phone. "Ellen," he asked, his voice soft. "I'm fine," I lied. "Do you want me to call them?" he offered. "No," I said. "Let them enjoy their day." 3 of my friends messaged me privately. "Did you see your mom's post?" "Yeah," I replied to each one. I just couldn't. That night, lying in bed, I thought about calling her. I even typed out a text. "Thanks for remembering me today, Mom." I deleted it. The next week, I did something I'd been avoiding. I organized every single piece of evidence I had, every screenshot, every receipt, every email. A folder for her cancer treatment, 52 documents for each appointment, bank statements proving the $18,000 payment, gas receipts totaling over $3,000, time off requests from work showing I'd taken 8 unpaid days to care for her after surgery. That cost me $2,200 in lost wages. Another folder for family posts, 30 screenshots of Mom's Facebook posts about Tyler. 0 mentioning my pregnancy. The Mother's Day post. The only grandchild comment from November 2024 when I was 8 months pregnant. A folder for text messages. 15 conversations where I reached out and got one-word replies or nothing at all. Nathan found me at my laptop at midnight. "What are you doing?" he asked, concern etched on his face. "I'm not doing this to hurt them," I told him, my voice firm. "I'm doing this so I never forget my worth." "What are you going to do with all this?" he asked. I looked at the folders, a quiet storm brewing inside me. "I don't know yet," I said, "but when the time comes, I'll be ready." In late May, I met Dr. Brennan for coffee. Just coffee, not a medical appointment. I told her everything. Mother's Day, the post, the crushing feeling of being invisible. She listened, her gaze steady. Then she shared something I never knew. 15 years ago, when she went through her own cancer treatment, her family abandoned her. Her mother stopped calling. Her sister said she was too busy. "Ellen," she said, her voice gentle but firm, "you gave your mother life twice. Once when you were born, and once when you saved her from cancer. She owes you truth." "I don't want her to owe me," I whispered, tears pricking my eyes. "I just want her to see me." Dr. Brennan looked at me across the table. "When your baby comes," she asked, "who do you want in that room?" I didn't hesitate. "You. And Nathan." "That's it. Then I'll be there," she promised. What I didn't know then was that Nathan had already had a conversation with Dr. Brennan. He'd sent her an email on May 25th with a chilling subject line. "Emergency contact. The only person I trust when blood family can't be trusted." He wrote, "Ellen trusts you more than her own family. If something happens during delivery, you're my first call." Her reply, "I'm honored and I'll be there." Between June and November, Mom posted about Tyler 12 more times. His birthday party, his first day of preschool, his Halloween costume as a little superhero. 0 posts about my pregnancy. 0 questions about how I was feeling. She asked once, one time, when my due date was. I said, December. She said, "Oh, nice." That was the entire conversation. Thanksgiving 2025. My family gathered at my parents' house in Columbus. I lived 20 minutes away. I didn't go. I told them I wasn't feeling well. That was partly true. I was 9 months pregnant, exhausted. But mostly, I just couldn't bear to be there. "You're not coming to Thanksgiving?" Mom asked on the phone, incredulous. "Mom, I'm 9 months pregnant. I'm exhausted." "Well, Allison is flying in with Tyler." "Have a good time," I said and hung up. They posted a family photo later. So grateful for family. It showed Mom, Dad, Allison, and Tyler. One of my old friends commented, "Where's Ellen?" Mom replied, she wasn't feeling well. She didn't mention I lived 20 minutes away. She made it sound like I was far away or too sick to come. Neither was true. It was another calculated omission. In early December, Nathan packed my hospital bag. Clothes, toiletries, phone charger. And at the bottom, a small card. Dr. Brennan's personal cell number, handwritten. I looked at him. Why is Dr. Brennan on the emergency contact list? He looked at me, his eyes full of conviction. Because, he said, she cares about you more than people who should. I didn't argue. I knew he was right. December 14th, just after 11 p.m. Light contractions. I told Nathan. We timed them for a couple of hours. I took a deep breath, trying to calm the anxiety churning inside me. The hospital air would be cold, smelling of disinfectant. By 2 a.m. on December 15th, they were 5 minutes apart. We need to go, Nathan said. Now. He drove me to Wexner Medical Center. 12 minutes. Every bump, every turn, intensified the pain. I gripped the door handle, my knuckles white. At the ER, the nurse asked, "Who should we call?" "Just my husband," I said, my voice strained. "No one else." By 6:15 a.m., I was in the labor and delivery room. The contractions were getting stronger, more insistent. I made a decision. One last chance. I FaceTimed my mother. It rang 3 times. Declined. A minute later, a text popped up. "Busy with Tyler right now. Call you later." My hands shook as I read it. Nathan saw it. "Are you serious?" he exploded. "It's okay," I said, my voice barely a whisper. I already knew. I handed him my phone. "Don't let me see it again until after she's born." At 7:30 a.m., the door swung open. Dr. Brennan walked in. Casual clothes, a blue cardigan, jeans, holding a bouquet of yellow tulips. "I heard someone's having a baby today," she said, her smile warm. I burst into tears. "You came." "Of course I did," she said, pulling up a chair. "I wouldn't miss this." The nurse, bless her heart, asked, "Are you the grandmother?" Dr. Brennan looked at me, a silent question. I nodded, a single tear tracing a path down my cheek. "She's family," I said. The next 2 hours were a blur of contractions, pain and breathing. Nathan held one hand, Dr. Brennan held the other. At one point, gasping, I cried, "I can't do this." Dr. Brennan squeezed my hand. "Ellen," she said, her voice unwavering, "you drove me to chemo 52 times when your mother thought she was dying. You can do anything." At 9:14 a.m., my daughter was born. 6 pounds, 3 ounces, 19 inches. A healthy cry. Perfect. They placed her on my chest. I looked down at her tiny, perfect face. "Hi, baby," I whispered, tears of pure joy streaming down my face. "I'm your mom." Nathan cut the umbilical cord. He was crying. I was crying. Dr. Brennan was crying. We were a mess, a beautiful, happy mess. After they cleaned us up, after I'd rested for a bit, Dr. Brennan asked, "Can I hold her?" "Of course," I said, a wide smile on my face. Nathan gently handed her our baby. Dr. Brennan sat in the blue rocking chair by the window, the natural light bathing her. She looked down at my daughter, a tender smile spreading across her face. Nathan took out his phone. "Can I take a picture?" he asked. "Yes," I said. He captured it. Our tiny baby, the soft morning light, the pure love radiating from Dr. Brennan's face. Dr. Brennan looked up at me. "She's perfect, just like her mother. Thank you for being here," I said, my voice thick with emotion. "You didn't have to." "Yes," she said, her eyes meeting mine. "I did." Then she pulled out her own phone. "Ellen," she asked, "can I share this photo? I'd like to tell people what real love looks like." I thought about it. Maybe 3 seconds. "Yes," I said. "Please do." But before she posted it, she did something I wasn't expecting. She opened Facebook on her phone and pulled up my mother's page. She found the Mother's Day post. "Ellen," Dr. Brennan said, her voice dropping, "I want you to hear this before I post." She paused, then spoke quietly. "Ellen, I was abandoned by my own blood family when I had cancer 15 years ago. Today, I won't let history repeat itself with you." She read Mom's caption out loud. "Blessed with the most beautiful grandchild. My heart is so full." She looked at me. "This was on Mother's Day. You were 7 weeks pregnant. You told her 3 weeks before. 2 weeks ago, she told someone on Facebook that Tyler was her only grandchild. And this morning, when you went into labor, she declined your call because she was busy with Tyler. Is that right?" I nodded, a single tear escaping. Then the world needs to know what real maternal love looks like, she declared. She typed out a caption, showed it to me. It read, 2 years ago, Ellen Robbins sat in my office and asked every right question to save her mother's life. She drove her mother to chemotherapy 52 times. She paid $18,000 out of pocket when insurance wouldn't cover it. She never missed an appointment. She held her mother's hand through every moment of fear. Today, I held her daughter, Natalie. This is what real maternal love looks like. Showing up when it's hard, sacrificing without recognition, and loving without condition. Ellen, you are the mother I hope Natalie becomes. She tagged the Breast Cancer Advocacy Foundation. She tagged Wexner Medical Center. She set the location as Ohio State Wexner Medical Center Labor and Delivery. Post it, I said. And at 2:47 p.m. on December 15, 2025, she did. Within 15 minutes, Dr. Brennan's post had 50 likes. Within 30, 150. An hour later, 500. Dr. Brennan had a huge following, 5,000 friends and over 30,000 followers. The 2025 Facebook algorithm, designed to boost verified medical professionals and highly engaged content, pushed her post to the top of news feeds across the medical community and cancer survivor networks. By 3 p.m., it was being shared in oncology nurse groups. By 6 p.m., the comments were flooding in. I've seen this too many times. Caregivers who give everything and get nothing back. Thank you for naming it. This breaks my heart. Where was her mother? Ellen sounds like an extraordinary person. By 6 p.m., the post had 3,000 likes and 400 shares. Then someone did it. Someone tagged my mother. A mutual friend shared Dr. Brennan's post, adding, Carol Robbins, this is beautiful. You must be so proud of Ellen. More comments followed. Carol Robbins, Ellen sounds like an amazing daughter and mother. You raised her well. I didn't see any of this yet. I was resting, holding Natalie, recovering. But then, people started noticing something. They clicked on my mother's profile. They saw the Mother's Day post. They saw the 63 posts about Tyler. And they saw 0 posts about my pregnancy. The comments on Dr. Brennan's post shifted. Wait, someone wrote. I just looked at Carol Robbins' page. She posts constantly about her grandson Tyler, but I don't see a single post about Ellen's pregnancy. What's going on here? I see the same thing. That's heartbreaking. Someone check if Carol ever thanked Ellen publicly for saving her life during cancer. They went back. Through 2 years of posts, they found the remission post from December 2022, cancer-free. So grateful for my family and Dr. Brennan. She tagged Allison and my dad. Not me. 20 people commented on Dr. Brennan's post, attaching screenshots. By 9 p.m., cancer survivor communities were rallying. The hashtag invisible caregivers started trending. My daughter took care of me for 3 years during my cancer. I make sure to thank her publicly every single day. This mother should be ashamed. Ellen deserves better. By 11 p.m. on December 15th, the post had 15,000 likes, 2,100 shares, and over 800 comments. A local Columbus News blog picked it up, running the headline, Ohio teacher's viral birth photo sparks hashtag invisible caregivers movement. The hashtag was trending nationwide. At 11:03 p.m., my phone rang. It was my mother. I looked at the screen. Nathan was sitting next to me. You gonna answer? He asked. No, I said. She left a voicemail. I listened to it the next morning. Ellen, her voice was frantic. People are tagging me in some post about you and the baby. I don't understand what's going on. Call me back. By that afternoon, I had 15 missed calls from Mom, 8 from Allison, 3 from Dad, 28 text messages. I read them all. Mom, Ellen, why didn't you tell me you were in labor? Why is some doctor posting about our private business? People are saying horrible things about me. Call me now. Allison. Ellen, what is going on? Mom is freaking out. Dad. Honey, please call your mother back. Not one of them asked how the baby was. Not one asked how I was feeling. Not one asked Natalie's name, or her weight, or if she was healthy. Every single message was about them. Their embarrassment. Their image. I took screenshots of all 28 messages. Saved them to a folder I called Aftermath. On December 17th, Mom deleted the Mother's Day post. But it was too late. For 2 days, people had been screenshotting it and posting it in the comments of Dr. Brennan's photo. Someone commented. Notice Carol deleted her Mother's Day post, where she called Tyler her only grandchild while Ellen was 7 weeks pregnant. The internet doesn't forget. They even attached the exact screenshot I'd taken at 8:03 a.m. on May 11th. Other people had saved it, too. Another commenter wrote, "Deleting it doesn't delete the damage, Carol." On December 18th, Nathan and I came home from the hospital with Natalie. Nathan had laid down a strict rule, no visitors, except Dr. Brennan and his fire crew. That afternoon, my father showed up at our door. Nathan answered. "I need to see Ellen," Dad demanded. "She's not ready," Nathan said, his voice calm but firm. "I'm her father," Dad retorted. "Then you should have acted like it," Nathan said, and didn't let him in. Dad left an envelope on the doorstep. Inside was a $500 check and a note for the baby. "I'm sorry. Over the next few days, I did something I needed to do." I reread all 15 missed calls and 28 text messages. Slowly, I highlighted certain phrases. Not one person asked about Natalie. Not one asked if she was healthy, how much she weighed, if she was sleeping okay. Every single message was about their feelings, their reputation, their embarrassment. Why are people saying I'm a bad mother? This is so embarrassing. People are talking about our family. Nathan read over my shoulder. "You know what you have to do," he said. "Yeah," I replied, my voice hard. "I do." I spent 3 days writing an email. 892 words. I edited it 5 times. Nathan read every single draft. On January 22nd, 2026, at 10:14 a.m. I sent it. To my mother. I CC'd Allison and my father. The subject line was simply, "What I need you to understand." I wrote, "From January 2020 to December 2022, I drove you to chemotherapy 52 times. I paid $18,000 when insurance wouldn't cover your bills. I held your hand when you thought you were dying. Allison flew in 3 times in 2 years, each visit lasting 48 hours. When you went into remission, you posted that you were grateful for family and Dr. Brennan. You tagged Allison and Dad. You didn't tag me. You didn't name me. Not once. Not publicly. Then, on Mother's Day 2025, while I was 7 weeks pregnant with your second grandchild, a pregnancy I told you about 3 weeks earlier, you posted that Tyler was the most beautiful grandchild and your heart was so full. You didn't call me. You didn't text me. 2 weeks before I gave birth, you told a stranger on Facebook that Tyler was your only grandchild. When I went into labor on December 15th, I called you. You declined the call and texted, "Busy with Tyler. Call you later." I didn't call later. I called someone who actually showed up. Dr. Brennan, the oncologist whose life I helped save through treatment. That photo that went viral, that wasn't about humiliating you. That was about honoring the person who saw me when you didn't. I'm not asking you to grovel. I'm asking you to tell the truth. The same people who saw you celebrate Tyler need to see you acknowledge what I did for you. And we need professional help to rebuild this. If you even want to rebuild it, here are my conditions. 1. A public acknowledgement on Facebook about the care I provided during your cancer treatment. Not a vague apology. A specific statement, naming what I did. The 52 appointments, the $18,000, the 2 years. The people who saw you celebrate Tyler deserve to see you recognize me. 2. Family therapy. Not 1 session. A commitment to 6 months of professional counseling. We need help that I can't provide and you can't fake. 3. No contact with Natalie until the first 2 conditions are met. You will not meet my daughter, hold my daughter, or be called grandma until you prove that you see me as your daughter. If you can't do this, I understand. But you will not have access to my daughter until you prove that you see me as your daughter. I don't regret the money. I don't regret the time. I'd do it all again because that's who I am. But I do regret waiting for love from someone who never learned how to give it. Natalie will never experience that. I'll make sure of it. I hope you choose to do the work. But if you don't, I'll be okay. Because I've already built the family I need. Ellen. I hovered over the send button for 30 seconds, my heart pounding. Nathan stood right behind me, his hand on my shoulder. "Ready," he whispered. "Yeah," I said, and I clicked send. I didn't check my email for 24 hours. When I finally did, there were 3 replies. Mom's was 365 words. Defensive. Deflecting. I never meant to hurt you. I was just so excited about Tyler. You know, I love you both equally. I don't understand why you're making this so public. This is between family. I'm your mother. I deserve respect. She didn't mention the $18,000. She didn't mention the 52 appointments. She didn't mention any of the conditions I'd set. Just excuses and demands for respect. Allison's was shorter. I didn't know it was this bad. I'm sorry you feel this way. Not sorry for what she did. Sorry I felt bad. Dad's was different. Can we talk in person? I want to make this right. I read all 3. Closed my laptop. Didn't reply. Nathan asked, "What now?" "We wait," I said. On January 25th, Mom posted a vague apology on Facebook. "I've made mistakes as a mother. I'm sorry to anyone I've hurt. Family is complicated. I'm learning and growing. Please respect our privacy." Comments were turned off. She didn't name me. Didn't mention cancer, or caregiving, or the $18,000. It was the kind of apology that says absolutely nothing. I sent her a reply. That's not the acknowledgement I asked for. I asked you to name what I did. The 52 drives, the $18,000, the 2 years. Saying I made mistakes is not the same as saying Ellen saved my life. I'm not trying to punish you. I'm trying to give you a chance to see me. But you have to actually do the work. She read it. She didn't reply for 3 days. Then, on January 28th, she posted again. This time it was real. I need to say something I should have said years ago. My daughter Ellen took care of me through breast cancer from 2020 to 2022. She drove me to 52 chemotherapy appointments. She paid $18,000 when I couldn't. She never left my side. I didn't thank her the way I should have. I didn't acknowledge her sacrifice publicly. I was wrong. I'm sorry, Ellen, and I'm working to be better. She tagged me. She left comments on. It was public. The post got 340 likes and 78 comments within an hour. Most said, "It's about time." Some said, "I hope Ellen forgives you." A few said, "This took courage." I read it 3 times. And I cried. "Is that enough?" Nathan asked. "It's a start," I said. The next day, January 29th, Mom sent me an email with links to 3 family therapists in Columbus. "I found these. Will you come with me?" I replied. "Yes, but I need you to commit to 6 months." "I will. I promise," she replied. We booked the first session for February 10th, 2026, at 2 p.m. with Drive Helena Foster at Columbus Family Therapy Center. Allison sent 5 more emails over the next week. All of them said some version of, "I didn't know." None of them said, "I should have shown up." On January 30th, I sent her one final message. "You knew I existed. You chose not to ask. That's enough for me to know. Goodbye, Allison." I blocked her number. I unfriended her on Facebook. I was done. "You okay with cutting her off?" Nathan asked gently. "She cut me off first," I said. "I'm just making it official. Dad was different. He sent a private message. I should have protected you from your mother's favoritism. I didn't. I'm a coward. I'm sorry. I don't expect forgiveness, but I want to do better." I wrote back. "I appreciate that, Dad, but you have to show it, not just say it." "Can I meet Natalie?" he asked. "After the first family therapy session," I said. "If you show up and participate." He showed up on February 10th. He was early. He brought flowers. In early February, something completely unexpected started happening. I began receiving messages from strangers, over 200 of them. Caregivers who had seen Dr. Brennan's post. People who had taken care of sick parents, spouses, children, people who had never been thanked. I took care of my dad for 5 years, and no one ever acknowledged it. Thank you for speaking up. I'm a nurse, and I see this every day. The invisible caregivers. You gave them a voice. I cried when I saw your story. I felt seen for the first time. I forwarded 20 of those messages to Dr. Brennan. She told me her foundation had received over $15,000 in donations in just 2 weeks because of her post. "You started something important, Ellen," she said. "I just told the truth," I replied. Dr. Brennan started visiting us every week in February. She'd bring coffee, sit with Natalie and me, offer parenting tips, hold the baby while I showered or napped. One afternoon, she was rocking Natalie, just gazing at her. "She looks like you," she murmured. "Everyone says she has Nathan's nose." I laughed. "But she has your strength," Dr. Brennan said, her voice soft. I can tell already. I'd been thinking about it for weeks. Can Natalie call you Grandma Rachel? I asked. Dr. Brennan looked up at me, her eyes wet. I'd be honored, she whispered. On February 8th, Nathan's fire crew threw us a late baby shower. 15 firefighters and their wives showed up at our house, bringing gifts worth probably $800. Diapers, clothes, a crib mobile, a meal train for 2 weeks. The fire captain, a gruff but kind man named Mike, handed me an envelope. Nate's family, he said. So you and Natalie are family too. One of the firefighters' wives, a teacher like me, pulled me aside. We look out for our own, she said. You're not alone. I cried again. I'd been crying a lot lately, but these were different tears. Good tears. In mid-February, I went back to teaching. My third graders had made 23 handmade cards. Welcome back, Miss Robbins. They'd drawn pictures of babies, hearts, flowers. A little girl named Emma handed me a card that said, You're the best mom and the best teacher. I hung all 23 cards on my classroom wall. One evening in late February, I sat alone with Natalie. Nathan was at the fire station on a 24-hour shift. Snow was falling outside our Columbus window, light, soft flakes. Natalie was 7 weeks old, the exact age I'd been pregnant on that awful Mother's Day. I held her in the rocking chair, the same blue one Dr. Brennan had sat in. Grandma Carol is trying, I whispered to her. I don't know if we'll ever be close, but I want you to know something. I'll never make you earn my love. You already have it. All of it. Just because you exist. I looked out at the snow. I thought about the last year. The Mother's Day post, the 52 drives to chemo, the $18,000, the deleted FaceTime call, the viral photo, the 20,000 likes, the email, the boundaries. I got up, walked to my desk. I opened the drawer where I'd kept the hospital bill from December 12, 2022. The $18,000. I looked at it one last time. Then I put it back. I walked back to the rocking chair. Natalie was asleep in my arms. I thought about my family. My real family. Nathan, who had been there through 2 miscarriages and never left my side. Dr. Brennan, who showed up when my own mother didn't. The fire crew who brought meals and gifts and called us family. My students, who made cards with their small, earnest hands. My friends, who asked the right questions and didn't look away. Nathan had asked me once if I was going to let Mom back in. I told him, maybe, but she doesn't get to be Grandma until she earns it. Dr. Brennan is Grandma Rachel. Mom is Carol. For now. I made a list in my head. Natalie's family. Nathan, Daddy. Grandma Rachel. Uncle Fire Crew. Miss Ellen's students. Carol. Conditional. That was our family. I said it out loud, a whisper into the quiet room. This is our family. The next morning, February 14th, 2026, Valentine's Day, a day about love, I wrote in my journal. Sacrifice isn't an invisible obligation. I don't need a viral post to know my worth. But sometimes, the world needs to see the truth so that people like me, the caregivers, the givers, the forgotten ones, can finally be seen. I don't know if my mom will ever fully understand what she did, but I know I'll never do it to Natalie. I want to say something to you directly. If you're taking care of someone who doesn't acknowledge you, you have permission to stop. You have permission to set boundaries. You have permission to choose your own family. Blood doesn't give anyone permission to make you invisible. And if they don't see you, find the people who will. They're out there. I promise. Dr. Brennan told me something that changed everything. Family isn't who raised you. It's who shows up. And now, I choose the people who show up. I used to think family love was something you paid for with money, with time, with blood. But here in Columbus, Ohio, in 2026, I learned that real family is the people who show up when you need them most, even if they don't share your blood. Natalie will grow up knowing she doesn't have to earn love. Love was there from the very first second. And if you're listening right now, you deserve to be loved like that, too. If this story resonated with you, share it with someone who's taking care of family without a thank you. Like this video if you believe in chosen family, and comment, I see you if you're a caregiver, because I see you. We see each other. Thank you for listening. And remember, you deserve to be loved without conditions. Don't accept anything less. A quiet February afternoon. Dr. Brennan knocked on my door with 2 coffees. She came in. Nathan was home. We sat in the living room. Natalie was sleeping peacefully in her bassinet. Dr. Brennan looked at me, a question in her eyes. "Room for one more?" "Always," I said. Nathan put his arm around me. Dr. Brennan held her coffee, a warm smile on her face. The snow fell softly outside. Natalie made a small, contented sound in her sleep. I looked around the room. This was it. This was family. Not the one I was born into. The one I chose. The one that chose me back. This is what real love looks like.